Hi. Few days before Winter Olympic Games in Italy, I recalled a story, and I call it Smartglass and Olympic Games. The Olympic movement has its own traditions. One of them is the launch of a countdown clock, what marks exactly 1 year until the start of the Games. These clocks have two sides, two clocks, for Olympic and Paralympic Games, which start a few weeks apart. Naturally, these clocks are manufactured, installed, and launched by one of the world's most recognizable watch brands, the one entrusted with being the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games and other major competitions. By that time, my company Smartglass had completed glazing works for several boutiques of prestigious luxury brands and had firmly established itself in the high-end luxury project market, working with very important and demanding clients, amongst them that famous watch brand. Everything started in a very unusual way, a working meeting in Kremlin with the presidential envoy to the Moscow Federal District. The allocation of the site for installing the clock in the very center of Moscow by the Kremlin walls on the Red Square, and decision by the presidential administration to place similar clocks in the capitals of other 7 federal districts of Russian Federation. Our company was given a complete carte blanche. We reported to the top manager for special projects, who in turn reported directly to the owner and head of that watch brand. It was an enormous level of trust placed in me personally and our company. In my phone book from that time, I still have the direct phone numbers of city officials, utility and special services representative of Moscow's mayor's office and the administration of the president of Russian Federation, police and secret service. I was issued a special pass that allowed me to drive into and park in areas adjacent to the installation site, including access to the Red Square and Manezhny Square. All road police in the area saluted me, recognizing the plates of my car. For 2 weeks in winter, January and February of 2013, my deputy and I practically lived in the office, coordinating the installation works. All company employees were divided into 3 teams, each installing clocks in 2 different regions of Russia, after which everyone came together to complete the projects in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Purchasing tickets, booking hotels, and equipping the team with tools were all our responsibility. It was also a logistical nightmare. Just imagine what it was like to deliver these clocks, disassembled parts, in winter, off-road, across the country, through Siberia, to all those remote sites, and to have everything ready in time for the launch on February 7, 2013. During all this time, while staying in Moscow, I handled communication with all the authorities and organized the work in the very heart of the city. Imagine what it took to urgently obtain all approvals and permits for construction work in central Moscow, to find a company and erect fencing and a tent to conceal the structure being built, a 40 feet high construction on a pedestal, and to bring all heavy machinery, to carry all clock structure through Moscow in 3 big lorries, and take care of security and waste removal and all that. And don't forget that in parallel, work was underway at 7 other locations across the country. Even though the scale was smaller, the same issues still had to be solved on site. I'll reveal one interesting secret. These ultra-precise clocks were synchronized with the atomic time standard at the headquarters of this famous company via satellite communication, and were launched from Switzerland. However, at the very last moment, the city officials requested the presence of a symbolic launch button, which was to be pressed simultaneously by the mayor of Moscow, Mr. Sobyanin, representative of the Olympic Committee, representative of the presidential administration, and famous Olympic and Paralympic champions. So it had to be something big. The button was purely symbolic. When pressed, the emblem of the watch brand would lit up. This button was urgently manufactured literally overnight, and a couple of hours before the launch ceremony, bypassing all police cordons, driving over the pavers of Manezhnaya Square, maneuvering between Olympic installations and crowds of people. I personally delivered it by car to the site and connected it. Basically, resembles like this ball. The advertising committee approved only 10 seconds of this emblem to be eliminated, which after then the emblem had to go dark. Pushing the button for the second time would be absurd, so the solution was simple: pulling the plug out of the power socket. After the clock launch and the button press, I counted to 10 and signaled my employee, who unplugged it from the socket. It was simply genius. As a keepsake of this historic event, I was left with a scaled model of the clock and a letter bearing words of gratitude from this world-famous company. And I also bought this beautiful watch, which is limited edition, and it reminds me of events which happened like 13 years ago. And it still works, by the way. Thank you.